What is on, guys? What's going on? Yosoy Arms. I'm back with another YouTube video. This is for the trade recap that I took on Friday. I just didn't post it yesterday. And yeah, so posting it today. First things first, though. Thank you guys so much for the tremendous support on that last video I posted around 4 days ago, which turned out to be my most popular video with 1,100 views. Thank you guys so much. That actually, it's crazy to see, that one of my videos actually got 1,000 views. Um, and for the longest time, I was stuck at 140 subscribers. And we actually got a crazy amount of subscribers due to this one video. We're actually close to 200 subscribers, which is absolutely wicked. Again, I post this stuff just to record my journey and just kind of just post it on YouTube. If people want to go ahead, follow along, more than welcome to. And yeah, right. So I kind of just been doing this for myself, and I'm gonna be continued. I'm literally gonna continue doing this until I don't know when, because I'm never gonna give up on trading. I am way too deep to just throw everything in the can, and I feel like I'm making some really crazy progress, right? So, stay tuned, follow up, subscribe. Make sure to follow me on Twitter as well. And again, thank you guys so much for the tremendous support. It is absolutely crazy, man. I was telling my girlfriend, like, one of my videos blew up to 1,000 views. For the most part, like my videos just average like 30, 40 views and stuff. And again, I'm so grateful for those 30, 40 views to whoever it is watching them. But 1,000 views is crazy. I actually had never thought I'd see this number anytime soon, right? And yeah, again, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys are enjoying the journey. And yeah, we've come we're coming a long way, right? But let's jump into the trade recap. Again, if you don't follow me on Twitter, I post just my stuff on Twitter for the most part, and then I post a video on YouTube. I got some followers on here as well. I was stuck at around like 110 followers. No, I was stuck. Yeah, I had like 109. Grew with some couple of followers on Twitter as well, which is crazy. But Twitter is not really my main like platform. For the most part, I really just kind of just focused on YouTube. I just use Twitter to just scroll on Twitter, right? And yeah, so as you can see, we actually took a L, and I handled the L pretty nicely. I don't know if you guys saw my other YouTube video, but I posted it on my Twitter as well. I was crazy up for the entire week. So tomorrow, which is Friday, I was planning just playing mostly just defense just to make sure I lock in profits. Now, did I do that? Yes. Now, I was really tempted to jump into another trade, and we're going to go into why. And I just had a really strong belief that my draw of liquidity was correct, and that we were just going there. To me, it was kind of obvious. And the first trade that we took today, or on Friday, could have been avoided. Definitely could have been avoided if I just noticed market structure. And then the second trade, I stepped back, came back, and I ended up being somewhat of a banger to make the loss back and even more, right? So we ended the week off at around $500, which is crazy. Blessed. God bless, right? So yeah, let's jump into this trade. So for the most part, we were bullish the entire week, right? And price still kind of remained bullish. Here you can see on the 1 hour, we're just bouncing off PD raise here. We inverse this fair value gap here. Not only that, this expansion candle that made the inverse created a fair value gap, and we just kept bouncing off, right? So bullish order flow still remains on the hourly, and one of my prime on the hourly, one of my targets was this hourly high sitting up here, right? So now if we jump into the 5 minute, or we could just jump into the 1 minute. I actually took my loss here. So let me go ahead and draw. Let me get a highlighter. I took my loss here, right? Right, draw liquidity this high. Not only that, we're bouncing off a 5 minute. But when I said I could have avoided this trade, Look at this. 5 minute, this is just chop. This is just chop. I should have noticed this is just chop, and I should have just been a little bit more patient. But I did see this 1 minute for value gap get inversed with some pretty good speed off of this 5 minute, and price actually ends up just coming straight back down. I had my stop loss here at this low and kind of just aiming at this high. Basically a 1-on-1 here. Price ends up literally just wicking me out, and then it kind of just ends up going my direction. I would have TP'd here and then gone break even. So this pretty much would have been a break even trade, right? But price had other plans and just stopped me out. But again, I literally could have avoided this if I just paid a little bit more attention on the 5 minute. Now, honestly, I was gonna stop here after this one trade. Again, just to lock in my profits and just to remain, and just again, right, just to lock in my profits, right? I was down, not so much, but a good amount. But I came back, I stepped away, I look at the charts, and I was like, no, I'm gonna take one more trade just because, I was confident that we wanted to see this hourly high. And what was telling me that is just look at this 5 minute. This 5 minute it bounced off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 times. Right? And we have a hourly high that has literally been untouched. And why would I want to look for shorts here if this 5 minute is still standing, right? I would want to see this 5 minute get inversed, and then we have another 5 minute here. And so I'd basically just pretty much wait to see what would happen on this 5 minute here, because we actually don't know if price wants to retrace back and then continue higher, or if price has other plans of just completely just ripping through, and we might start to see the sell model here be played out, right? So the sell model would be here, right? You have a buy model here, you have a sell model here, but we don't know, right? Us as traders are observers. We are not here to predict the market. So as I come back, because I took a trade, and if you guys took, let me tell you guys this right now, and I saw this from a podcast, and it really spoke to me, is your second trade after your first one, and let's say your first one's a loss, your second trade is the most dangerous trade you can possibly take. And it makes sense. Now, I forgot what podcast it was, but if you really think about it, you open the charts, you come to the charts, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna be patient today or whatever. You take a first trade. It's an L trade. You're red on the day. And now this really all depends if you're a disciplined trader or not, and stuff like that. If you follow the rules, whether like in your trading plan you have, okay, 1 trade a day or 2 trades max, right? So now going back to what I was saying about the second trade being the most dangerous, just think about it. Your first trade's an L. And if you're not disciplined, or if you don't have your psychology in check, especially when you're a beginner trader, and I've been in that boat. Again, I have an entire journal here, literally just about my emotions, what I did wrong that day, or whatever. And after listening to this podcast, and I'm going to tell you what the guy said, I went through my journal and I'm just like, damn, that is so real. Because after the first trade, because us as beginner traders or whatever, you want to end the day off green. Because if you end the day off red, you're going to feel like you're not making any progress and stuff like that. And let me just tell you right now, ending the day red and accepting the fact that you're ending the day red is still progress, because we're not all perfect. We're not all perfect in the sense that we're going to just be seeing green, right? There's obviously going to be red days, and accepting those red days and really just learning from your mistakes, why you took the trade, why it didn't work and stuff like that is, it allows you to really build yourself as a trader, right? So you shouldn't see a red day being as a setback to your progress. You should actually see it and shift your focus to seeing like, okay, I'm maturing as a trader, right? I hope all of that what I just said makes sense. And let me tell you what the guy said was, so your second trade was going to be the most dangerous, because after your first one, again, if you don't have your psychology in check, and I'm just going to use a beginner trader for example, the beginner trader wants to end the day green. They want to get money fast. And let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Everyone starts to get into trading just because they see the influencers and stuff flexing their Lambos and shit like that. And not only that, right? The trading does provide freedom if you really get good at it. You know, you could trade from a beach on your phone, make 3K. All right, well, I'm done for the day in less than 2 minutes, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. But going back to what I was saying, after your first trade, your second trade is dangerous because of these reasons. Your second trade is going to be dangerous because, number one, you want to end the day green. Number two, this is where your emotions start to kick in. And this is where psychology comes in check. Because if you're end the day green, I mean, if your first trade's red, your mind starts to think, okay, no, like fuck, like I messed up. I need to end the day green. I need to look for another trade that would make me break even and then make more. And this just goes to an endless cycle, right? Because after that, you start to look for a trade. At this point, you're not observing anymore. You're not observing the market. At this point, you're seeking a trade and you're forcing trades just because you want to make back what you just lost, right? And this all ties back to psychology. And that's pretty much why your second trade is literally the most dangerous trade, because you're forcing trades and you're looking for a trade at this point, when in reality, we're supposed to be observing the market and reacting what the market wants to do. And during your second trade, you just start to see things that aren't there, right? And I noticed this in my journal. I don't know if you guys journal as well. I highly recommend it. You guys, after a first loss, one of the best things I like to do, I just like to get up, step away, and come back. Take some deep breath and, come back, right? Because one of my problems was I either end the day green or I blow my account. And let me tell you this right now, just from, I have blown so many accounts. I have wasted so much money on evals, on express accounts valuations, like the $150 fee that Top Step has and stuff like that. I have spent a decent amount, right? And, I started to realize, like, that's just no progress. Like, one day I'm going to have to accept the fact that I'm going to end the day green, or I'm going to end the day red, and I have to shift my focus and really start to think and look at things differently, and look at ending the day red as me maturing as a trader, right? So this second trade that I took, I stepped away, I came back. Initially, I was going to stop trading. I was going to end the day red. I was going to post to Twitter, and I was going to do a trade recap. But I was like, no, I'm going to do one more trade. And this is why. Because I come back to my desk and I observe the market. This 5 minute right here is telling me literally everything. This 5 minute here, I'm observing the market. Now, again, this is where I tell you that we should be observers, and this second trade is most lethal just because you lose your sense of, being an actual trader and treating this as a business, and you don't start to, you lose the sense of observing the market and just waiting for a setup and waiting for your time to come, and that's when you strike for your edge, right? So I come back, I observe the market. I see they were still bullish, right? This 5 minute here is literally telling everything. Now, I could have ignored this first trade if I just looked at more at the 5 minute and I was like, okay, we're still choppy, but for the most part, we're still remaining bullish, just because we literally we did not get a candle closure under this, right? So I'm waiting for my time, and I say, if anything, I'm going to take a trade on the 5 minute. Why? Just because the 1 minute here is just so choppy. Every inverse here is pretty much just failing, I guess, or whatever. It's just like, right? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just wait for a trade on the 5 minute. If I don't get anything on the 5 minute, I'm pretty much gonna stop, right? So I come back and observe the market. Old me, after this first loss, would have been so eager to jump into another trade. I would literally just take the most randomest fair value gap, inverse or whatever, and it would make me red, and then it would go to an endless cycle of me just over trading and then potentially me even blowing my account, right? So stuff like this, like after this trading day, I was like on my journal, good job for coming back after, like kind of just mental resetting and coming back with a clear mind and taking this trade as if it was my first one due to me observing the market. We want to be observers of the market because the market is going to tell us potentially what it wants to do, right? So I come back, I'm sitting on my desk, I'm like, okay, we take a trade. I'm probably going to take on this 5 minute just because we're relying on this 5 minute. And I see that we finally get a fair value gap here. We have no fair value gaps here on the 5 minute, literally zero, right? Until we get this one, we tap back into this 5 minute fair value gap, and we get a clean move back to the upside with good momentum. And I'm like, okay, if we inverse this fair value, this 5 minute right here, I am most likely going to take it, and I'm going to be aiming for this high right here, and we're just going to see what happens, right? So price does that, clean V shape right over here. I don't know if you guys follow Doji or whatever. V shapes are really nice, right? So clean V shape, enter at candle closure here, and we actually go up, come back down, and I'm like, okay, I really want to seek this high. Adi even take a break even here. I really wanted to seek this high just because look at this. This is just bullish order flow, right? So I come back. So I'm just letting, so it comes back, I'm just letting it ride, and the 850 macro comes, and I posted it on my Twitter. Shout out to the whale who bought at 9 a.m. The push was beautiful. So I don't know if this was an institutional trader or just some dude trading on his desk and he just bought for a crazy amount, or I don't know, right? But it happened during the 850 910 macro. As you can see here, we place in a 5 minute order block, and we just get a crazy pump through this hourly high and some for around 88 points. Bless. Again, thank you. I made back the money from here, and I made even more just to end the week off with $500 in my Express account, not copy traded. Okay, again, that, and it was good because normally I probably would have called it here. And again, I told you this second trade after a loss is so lethal just because you just lose your sense of what you know, right? You lose your sense of what you should be doing. I know as a trader what I should be doing. You know as a trader what you should be doing. But now, do we really follow those rules? That is the hard part of trading, right? So I come back, and after this whole trading day, I wrote in my journal, I patted myself in the back, like, good job on coming back. Because I was about to not even take a trade. I was about to just take the loss. But I came back, I observed the market, and I was like, okay, clear mental reset. I'm going to take this inversion here. This 5 minute happens here. And the reason why I'm looking on this 5 minute is just because the 5 minute is just so choppy. And the fact that we get an expansion candle here with a good inverse with momentum and speed just to take out this hourly high. That's why I was kind of just waiting on the 5 minute, because on the 1 minute, the 1 minute is literally not telling me anything, right? The structure right now is happening on the 5 minute, and the 5 minute is literally telling me everything. Now, is there an inverse here on the 1 minute? No, there is not. I don't see anything. Is there an inverse here on these 2 minute? There is somewhat of an inverse here. And we do tap back into the inverse and continue higher. So I guess if you look at the 2 minute, you could have entered. But I wanted to see this form on the 5 minute just to avoid any more fake outs like what happened here on the 1 minute, if that makes sense. Right. So, yeah. That's pretty much it for this video, guys. Again, thank you guys so much for the tremendous support. It really means a lot. Oh, okay. I accidentally cut off my mic. Again, thank you guys so much for the tremendous support. We're almost at 200 subscribers. Really sick. Really, really sick. And yeah, I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Saturday. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. And I will see you guys on Monday's recap. Thank you. Peace, peace.